Hi everyone, I hope that you are doing amazing today, that your day is going great or it went great, or wherever you are. I hope that you feel amazing. And yeah, today I wanted to talk about what we're building while we're here, as well as take some time to wish you, if you're a mother, a very happy Mother's Day this weekend. And if you're not, happy Mother's Day to any mother around you that you love and cherish and appreciate. Well, I live in the United States, so here we celebrate this Sunday on May 12th. Although, me coming from Dominican Republic, I know that some countries celebrate Mother's Day in a different day. For example, for us, we celebrate it at the last Sunday of May. So I get to celebrate twice. But yeah, but if you're in the United States, or if Mother's Day lands on this Sunday, I wish you and all the mothers in your life a beautiful and blessed Mother's Day. With that in mind, I can't help but think about my mom. And she passed away in 2022, and I never thought I would see the day, especially with my mom being such a strong person, and I want to recognize her for all she built during the time that she was here. At only 19 years of age, she decided to go to a whole different world, from Dominican Republic to the United States, only to give my sister and I, who were born over there. I have other siblings, but they were born in the United States. But my sister and I, who we were born in Dominican Republic, my mom wanted to open those doors for us, the doors of opportunity, and for us to have a brighter future, because she didn't see that happening in Dominican Republic, especially where we are from. It's a very humble, beautiful place, but not a lot of opportunities out there how we have them here, especially New York City, where we landed at. And I can't help but think about her age. My daughter's 19, and for me to see my daughter, that I still see her like a little girl, and to know that my mom, not only already having 2 kids at that age, but took the initiative to, do what she had to do, to make sure that we came here the right way, that was possible for her. And for us to come here the right way, for us to have equal opportunity as any other American citizen, she opened up so many doors, not just in her daughter's lives, but she completely changed our history. She really did, because she was with my dad also, but she was the one who fought for my sister and I to come here. She was the one who battled with the government, doing things as she was supposed to make sure that she did everything legitimate. And the things that she did cascades for many generations. And not everyone in my family from Dominican Republic was able to make it to the United States. Some did, but many didn't. So it's like, we probably would have still been there. And I'm not saying we would have had a terrible life. I don't know what type of life we would have had. But what I will say is that the opportunities that we received here in the United States, I don't see that happening over there. So I am so grateful that she was so determined, so intelligent, brave, courageous. She's amazing. I cannot picture it. I could probably picture myself doing something like that, because she raised me, and she taught me so much. She taught me to be very independent, And that's the reason why we actually ended up crashing, because she taught me to be very, very independent from a very young age. And, you know, but unfortunately, her trying to protect me, even though I didn't see it at that time, you know, but her trying to protect me, at the same time, she had me on lockdown at home, where she wouldn't even allow, not even a phone call to the house. Like, she would not allow us to really, you know, do anything outside the house. And while I can appreciate that now and I understand her, at the moment I didn't, you know, and it made me clash with her, because I felt way too independent and then trapped in my house, you know. But anyway, after I got older and I had my children, I got to learn that everything she did was out of love and protection for me and my siblings, for my siblings and I, sorry. But, you know, aside from that, she was such a beautiful person, inside and out. My God, she's like a model. But, you know, she cared for people. Even though her, you know, her babies were everything to her, and she would fight the world for her kids. So we came first above anybody else, you know, from what she showed us, you know. But she still had a very beautiful heart towards other people that actually needed her. She always took care of her siblings that stood behind in the Dominican Republic, even if she was struggling. And my mom, she struggled most of her life, you know. She accomplished a lot of things, but she also still struggled even till the end, you know, because she did everything really by herself, you know. And but she, even like that, she always supplied you know, resources for her family in the Dominican Republic. She supplied food, she supplied clothing, she sent money, you know. And when you do things, when you are in need as well, that's not even help, that's love, you know. And my mom was very, very loving and caring. And if anything, she was stressed like crazy if she felt that, let's say, like a brother of hers needed the help really bad in our country, in our native country. She would do everything she could. She would go into debt to help them, and of course her kids. But you know, I'm talking like outside her kids, which is, you know, it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about compassion and love and caring and everything, you know. And I learned a lot from her, a lot. And my mom, you know, she was a very, very young mother. She ended up pregnant by the age of 14, which is kind of normal. It's too much here for us in the USA, but in Dominican Republic and in other countries, you know, it's kind of normal to see things like that happen, you know, where girls by the age of like 14, yes, sure, they could already be married with kids and everything like that, you know. Many countries believe that by the time that you start your menstrual cycle, you're ready to marry, you know. That wasn't really a belief that we grew up with, but what I'm trying to say is that, you know, I've seen mothers that were even younger. And even though she was a very young person, you know, being a young mother, if you're going to be a good mother, you're going to be a good mother no matter what, right? Like my mom, she never put anybody above us. But of course, you know, rightfully so, she was a bit immature. You know, she never really grew up like a normal person, because by the age of 14, she had others to think about already. That's a lot of responsibility for a 14-year-old. And, you know, but she still did it. She still did it. You know, she made her mistakes as a young mother, you know. But overall, the good that she did super outweigh whatever mistakes she made as she was learning about life, you know. And I love that I could see that, you know, where I'm at right now. And I actually did before, you know. So for many, many years, I made peace with my mother and apologized over and over and over for my behavior during my teenage years, you know, which were extremely immature, you know, and selfish. You know, unfortunately, I didn't appreciate her and everything she was doing. At one point, it was a few years when I was very young. But I'm happy and grateful that I came to my senses, you know, years and years before she passed. So we became extremely close again, because we were very close before I rebelled. And then we became close again, you know, especially when I moved away from, you know, where we lived at to Florida. And, you know, that made us even more close, because especially me, I missed her like crazy. And even though I didn't want to be living where she was living at, which was New Jersey, you know, but I made sure that I was in constant communication with her. And you have to understand that I had lived in Florida before, and I went back to Jersey and then I came back. But I had lived before in Florida, and at that time, my mom and I, even though I had kids, but I had not, you know, it had not sunk into me yet, you know, like why she did certain things. Because at a very young age, my daughters didn't, you know, I had control. Once I started not having control, I started understanding my mom. And, you know, that started, I don't know, after my daughters were like 5, 6 or something like that, you know. And not that I didn't have control of them around that time, but where they wanted to do other things that I couldn't accept them doing, you know, out of protection and out of love, you know. So, and I'm talking about, like, for example, you know, they wanted to go sleep over at a friend's house. You know, I couldn't do that. You know, I really couldn't. I didn't know the parents of the other children. You know, I didn't know, you know, who was in the house. I don't know if my daughters were going to be okay or not. At that time, they didn't have cell phones, you know. Well, my kids, they didn't have cell phones or anything like that. So there was no way that I could have done that. Like, I couldn't. And at times, they didn't understand me, you know, just how I didn't understand my mom when she was doing things. But, you know, again, I'm grateful that I got to see it, you know, before it was too late. And with that said, I know that our parents make mistakes, a lot of mistakes at times, you know. But we have to really remember that we are all growing up together, even our parents, you know. And you know, I can tell you guys that I felt like I was 17 for many years, you know, until I was about 30 something years old, very late in the 30s, you know, almost 40 years old. So I myself was extremely immature, you know, with my kids, with my decisions and everything like that. And my own life helped me understand how we truly are still kids, just growing up. And yes, we do end up having responsibilities, and it's important that we take care of our responsibilities. But we have to remember that we're growing up every single day. Every single day, you know, and age doesn't determine, you know, how mature you are. It really doesn't. Like I said, I was mentally 17 for a very long time. That's when I got, you know, that's when I got into a serious relationship. I started having kids after that. So, you know, I got to also understand that my mom was also growing up, you know, and I always knew she was a very young mom, so I can understand her immaturity with certain things. But it really didn't sink in until I started seeing it from my own life. But let's try to be compassionate. Let's be compassionate with our parents, with those around us, you know, that are trying. Maybe they don't do everything as good as we want them to, you know, but when you do see that there's still love, that maybe, you know, maybe they're coming off wrong in the way they're saying things, you know, but deep down you know that they're looking out for you. They take care of you, they provide, they support you, they talk to you. You know, when you can tell that they do love you, even if they're not perfect, you know, let's always have that appreciation, peace, and love and respect for our loved ones around us. Not everyone has their parents, you know, not everyone was raised by the parents, but whoever you feel, you know, is that parent in your life, okay? And in this case, especially moms, you know, growing up with a very, the feminines in my family, I don't want to say that they are distorted, but we all were very unbalanced, because we ended up, you know, and I feel like it's from history, you know, because it was generations after generations after generation of the female being mistreated, you know, to not have that sense of self-worth enough to not accept certain things. You know, it's not like we didn't appreciate our worth or knew it. It's just that we are very, very compassionate as well, and we forgive a lot, and we, you know, we love deep, and we give ourselves in and everything like that. And unfortunately that attracted, you know, males that didn't really appreciate that, you know, and unfortunately that made us into more masculine than feminine, because we ended up having to do things that, you know, was the male's job. Not, you know, I don't mean it like literally, but, you know, we work together, and I do believe in my heart that the males have their job and the females have their job, you know. And I don't mean specifically like females go wash dishes. I work my whole life, but I'm saying, you know, there are certain attributes that a man has that are meant for them, you know, and there are attributes that a female has that are meant for them, you know. We're meant to have our own, you know, our jobs here, to work with each other, to make family work, to make unions work, to make great nations, to make great human beings. If we work together the way it's meant to be. The way the world has shifted, you know, through the years, it has made many, many females, not just in my family, many females have to act as a man as well. And sometimes we forget the female, you know, or what we're meant to be. And we forget to love ourselves as females, and we forget to see our worth, and we forget to, you know, just, like I said, you know, we needed to get away from being very male, you know. And even if we don't have a choice, like me, for example, you know, I cannot just say, you know what, that's it, I'm going to be a female, I'm going to stay at home, I'm going to take care of my family, I got bills to pay and ain't nobody gonna pay them but me, you know. So there's certain things I cannot get away from as a female, you know, to be more of a female and less of a male. But what I can do is try to balance myself, at least, you know, and not be too male, where I need to be more female, you know, more female than what I'm used to, you know. I don't know, it can be, you know, just being feminine, like, I don't even know. You know, I don't even know exactly, but all I know is that, you know, male also has to do with energies. We both have male and female energies inside of us, right? And that goes with our left brain and our right brain, where our left brain is more analytical, is the male side, you know, everything, you know, structure and work and, you know, 3D things, while the right side of our brain is the female side, where it's more creativity, you know, yeah, imagination, you know, tenderness, nurturing, things like that. You know, I was very, very left-brained for a long time, you know, because I felt I didn't have a choice. But I'm slowly going more into my feminine self and, you know, trying to spend more time in my right brain, you know, while still handling business, you know. But anyway, going back to my mother, you know, and what I'm really trying to say with this video is, what legacy are we leaving out there? What legacy are we working towards in our lives? You know, my mom built a beautiful legacy where she will never get forgotten, no matter what, no matter how many years pass by, you know. And I know that legacy can also come in a negative way. We can also leave a negative legacy, but let's try our best to leave the best legacy possible. I have my grandfather that I honor so much and I love still, and he passed years ago, back in the 90s, you know. He passed away, and my grandfather wasn't the greatest person in the world. You know, he had many things that I actually didn't agree with, but he was still kind to me, you know. He was loving to me. He was a good grandfather, you know. And for me, you know, even though I was around him as a child, so that's the memory I have, but for me, even though even as a kid I also knew he wasn't perfect, you know, his good for me outweighed more than the bad, and that helped me always remember him, always, you know. And even if people, like I say, even if people get remembered in a negative way, you know, it's still negative, and I personally wouldn't want to be remembered in a bad way, you know. So I always strive to be my best, do my best, you know. And everything is unconditional. It's not for me to say I want a shrine when I pass. Never, never. But I would love my children to remember me, to, you know, to talk about me for years to come after I pass, you know, the way that I plan to do, or that I do with my mom. And not just me, I don't have to say anything. You know, the family knew her, of course, and they were around her, and they knew the beauty in her. And they would never forget her either, you know. And I love that. I love that my children love my mom. I love that my grandson, you know, even though he never met her, but he will know of her. You know, we keep pictures around of her, you know, to make sure that the image is still there, you know. But most importantly, her energy and her contributions to the world and to our family especially. And, you know, she always makes me think of that. Like, I want to leave, not leave, leave. I want to leave a beautiful legacy out there, you know, for people to remember me in a good way. And the way that I feel I can accomplish that is simply by spreading love as much as I can, you know. To me, being who I am, also spreading information that may be useful, if, you know, for people outside my own family circle, because I cherish and take care of my family, and my relationship with my family members is very, very important to me. You know, I stay in touch as much as I can, especially me living away from them. I stay in touch every single day, you know. Specific people are reached every day, showing them that I care, that I want to know how they woke up, that I want to know how their day was, you know, and everything. And I'm not the best at calling, so I don't really call, but I at least, you know, text. It's something, you know, it's something. But if you are okay with calling, even better, you know, even better. But yeah, you know, I suggest, I know I'll do that for me, but I suggest that you also work on leaving a beautiful legacy, you know, out there for everyone to remember you after you pass. You know, tomorrow's never promised. So it's like an everyday thing to work on ourselves. and to, you know, to spread as much love as we can, you know, and to take care of those relationships that mean a lot to us, you know, that, you know, people remember the good that we have done and use as an inspiration to do the same or even better. So, you know, with that, I'll leave it. I feel like I'm going all over the place sometimes, but I just want to, again, wish all the mothers that do celebrate Mother's Day this Sunday a very beautiful and special Mother's Day. You deserve it. You have earned it. And you deserve love and praise, you know, not just that day, but every day. And for those fathers who have been doing the jobs of a mother, you know, who have to take on the feminine aspect within them to raise their children, to take care of their responsibilities and everything, I salute you and I thank you for being different than what the world wants us to think. There are amazing dads doing the work of a mother as well. Just how there are mothers doing the role of the fathers, there are amazing fathers as well. So to you, I also wish you a very happy Mother's Daddy Day. Love each other, take care of each other, respect each other. You know, let's be different in this world. Let's bring a different energy, or not even different. This energy has always been there, but let's bring it back. Let's make it strong. And the way we can do it strong is by many of us being in the same frequency, you know, and the frequency of love, which is the universal language that we all have. You know, let's be kind to one another, and let's, you know, let's spread as much love as we can, so that we can raise the vibration of the world and change all the negativity that's happening. There's no limit to what positive energy can achieve. It can be a war, you know, out there, and even that will be diminished with love itself, you know, with spreading the love. It's us complaining about the world and pointing fingers and talking bad is not going to do any good. The only thing that's going to make a difference is us acting different. And you know, the last point I will say, oh my God, I'm almost at 30 minutes. The last thing I will say is, like today, for example, I love my Native Americans, I love my Tainos, I love my people, you know. And I follow a few pages on Facebook, you know, that they are meant for American natives, right? And there was a picture of a Native American woman holding the head, you know, decapitated head of Christopher Columbus. You know, it was a drawing. And while I'm not very fond of Christopher Columbus, you know, I think for the right reasons, you know, but I am not okay with that picture out there, because we're not gonna fix anything by, you know, by giving that same energy back. We're not. The way we're gonna fix things is by being different than what we have been seeing. If not, it's going to be a ping pong game, you know. It's the negative energy is gonna go back and forth. That's all it's gonna be. The way to stop it is to bring our light, you know, our love, to show the difference, you know, how different we are compared to, you know, evil colonizers, you know. And not for nothing, no specific race, you know, because in reality, you know, even with slavery in Africa, you know, their own people were selling their people. You know, and it's really sad, you know, but it had to do with money, you know. So let's stop those blame games, please. You know, I get it, I truly get it, but we're not gonna fix nothing like that. We have to move forward. We have to move forward, you know. and let's put a different frequency out there. You know, it's not about forgetting. It's not about, you know, no. God is the judge of everything. And God will do what he needs to do to make things right. Maybe we don't get to see it, but maybe our children or their children will. And we're already making progress. We really are, especially in the United States. So please, you know, use your compassion, use your heart, use your love, and let's move away from the agenda of us hating each other. Because when we start the blaming and you know, the finger pointing and the remembering of the negativity, it's just, we're not gonna let go of that frequency. We need to learn how to let go, no matter how difficult it is. Okay, I've learned that in my own life, with my own colonizers, with my own discrimination people. You understand? I've dealt with those things, and I have been able to let go, you know, because like I said, we send love and healing because we are hurting people, and God will take care of whatever needs to be done to make sure that justice is made. And justice doesn't have to come with another war. Justice may just come, I don't know, maybe even just fixing the history books, putting the real history out there, you understand? Maybe bringing our cultures back. You know, there are many ways that we can come back and justice can be made for us, you know, for everyone that has been through things. But we have all been through things, and we need to let go of the negativity so that our world, so that our lives can move forward with peace, love, prosperity, abundance, joy, bliss, you know, all those beautiful things that are meant for us. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. And you know, I love these videos, I really do. And I appreciate you for taking the time to watch them. Sorry that this video was so long, but you know, take care and have a beautiful weekend. If I don't make a video over the weekend, have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed weekend, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.